Good morning. Today is June 20th. It is 10 o'clock. We are here to talk about the case on, 909 North Ellison, with a code officer. Like to give a report?
Okay, so this case originally started, back when notice was given back in 2023. We're just kind of following through with our procedure. The house has been dilapidated for years, so we just went ahead and followed through with the notice to clean that was sent in February, and still allowing time because we ended up sending the notice of hearing in June 4th. So we definitely have been giving more than enough time for them to contact us to see what we can do. So that's why we're pushing forward with the case.
Would you like to come up and state your side, or if you guys have plans to do something with that?
I was here maybe just a little bit about it last year. But yeah, I've been incapacitated. Of course, Kenny is kind of the same way with oxygen too, but I know he's secured fence to go across the front of it. And it's a storage building more or less is all it really is. Hadn't been anybody in that house that, in the 30 years or so that I've been acquainted with that house, I don't think there's been anybody live in it. I don't know exactly how far back you go to figure out when it was last occupied as a residence,
Right.
But it's just a storage place too. They keep doors and windows for the most part. And like I said, I know the fence has been secured as far as getting it, and he may know a little bit more when he comes in here a little bit, but like I said, the last year has been, for Mary Lou and myself both, has been a constant onslaught of going to the doctor here, going to the doctor there, or whatever, So we really haven't had a lot of time to mess with it, and a lot of stuff I thought was taken care of. But a lot of times somebody tells you they're going to do something, and you go by and they have to do it, or
Right.
maybe show up and give you a bill, and that's about it. I don't know.
Right.
But that's another property of mine that we were talking about. That was the case. It was supposed to have been done 2 months ago. And they did finally come over and get the tree cut, but they were supposed to have loaded it up that evening too,
Right. Because I do remember when we talked last, this was before, all of the issues happened. We were talking about trying to get a fence to somewhat get that secure.
I would say probably at this point, if we had 2 or 3 weeks, we could probably have the fence up because we've already got the fence secured. I'd pretty well go over there and set posts and whatever. It's more about finding somebody to work than anything else, because,
Right.
like I said, I'm still at a point where I can't lift more than supposedly 3 pounds, so I can't pick up much more than a hammer myself.
Right.
And I know Kenny with the oxygen, if he gets over there and does a whole lot, it goes downhill in a real hurry.
Oh, I believe
We've
it.
got a guy that's not working too bad, finally.
So if we did like one more 30-day agreement, we could probably. Would you step up to the mic, Mr. Kinney?
Yes, sir, if you don't mind. No, because I won't talk to the mic. And catch some bread at Winsboro on 90 mile iron. Yeah, if y'all give us 30 days, I just got through talking about hired hand, so we've got to get that done.
Okay. Because the main issue is that it is a building that is, somewhat falling in on itself. And
Well, we're gonna brace that front and do that, and then I got some siding, we ain't determined all what we're gonna do to it. But we'll try to make it where it ain't ugly for the city.
Okay.
I
No.
promise you that.
No, it's one of those things that it is in a residential area. It is classified as a R1, single family dwelling. And, even though it's being used as a storage building, you know, at this time. We still have to kind of uphold the standards of the zoning for that area, and, you know, it kind of has to help not, you know, bring down everybody else's,
Right.
you know, property and stuff like that. And I think that's probably one of the biggest issues, is that when, you know, people go by and they look at it and they're like, you know, why hasn't that come down yet? You know what I mean? Like, we get a lot of questions on our end. And so if we could, you know, like say, work on the fence first, and then, you know, do something to get it so it isn't just an eyesore, I guess.
Right.
To be able to maintain. What will you think?
I think that the main issue why we're here is. I think the main issue why we are here for a hearing is because it's a dilapidated structure. I don't think a fence is going to fix that. I really don't.
What's that?
I think that the reason why we're here is because it's a dilapidated structure, so I don't think a fence is going to fix that. I really
I
don't.
told you we was gonna go ahead and try to re-level out.
I really don't feel like you can save it at this point. I mean, that place is really, I mean, you can just see it sinking. It's dilapidated.
Once we brace it back up and put the fence up, it'll be a private source, private storage building. There's not gonna be no public access to it. So it's not gonna fall in. If I thought it was gonna fall in, I wouldn't be using it. I would be the first one to tear it down. Sure would 4 years ago.
I don't agree. I'm sorry. I don't feel like that. I don't
Well,
agree.
I
We'll
understand.
agree to disagree, but I really don't. I don't feel like I just don't feel like that should be up anymore. I mean, that place it's been there for years. I can't really trust the process on getting braces up on that, especially since we're falling behind on other cases.
Other
And
cases up for who? Oh, y'all's?
on
or-
everything. I mean, other cases on Mary Lou's property, other cases on other cases that we have currently over 100 cases in the city of Guyman, and we're trying to close one to open up more. So it's hard to continue to have
Well, I got
a
nine,
case.
I got one of your cases cleared up. I hadn't called y'all back, but I used to call you back. But 9/12, I cut all the trees out of off the highway, and you can go by there. I think I done one heck of a good
Yeah,
job.
definitely.
That was mine and it was done, but this is about this one.
I understand.
Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is we're trying to get them. I know.
He's just kind of indicating that that's another.
We've been
Yeah.
working. We've been working on the bringing.
We
everything
understand.
else.
Yeah, we understand. But we also feel like Mary Lou Cryer has plenty of properties in the city of Guyman to upkeep. So with this case on top of it, it's going to be hard for you to focus on putting braces on that, fixing it up whenever you're still trying to maintain all
Let
of
me
the
ask
other
you. Just give
properties.
me 30 days and let me do a little bit of getting all my resources together. And at the end of 30 days, we can discuss it again. Would that be a problem with that? And see if we can't get a contractor to come in and help me brace that floor up and brace that all that?
In my opinion, I feel like it should be demolished. So, I said what I said.
No, I got Mike. I'm kind of on the fence with this. I mean, I think that we could possibly go ahead with, you know, what we're trying to do, but I still think we should probably go in front of council and ask council, you know, kind of where they stand on this. You know, they would be the ultimate, you know, decider because I mean, I know a lot of it is we have new codes that are getting ready to come in November where there's basically it's called like an unoccupied building code that's going to start taking effect.
So what is that basically? What is that?
It basically, if a building is unoccupied and unused, the owner of that property has the obligation and the duty to get it rented or get somebody occupied in it or do away with it. I mean, you know, the times of just having empty buildings, you know, sitting in areas that, you know, either they haven't sold or, you know, a son may own the property and he lives in Washington and never comes out here and the building is just set here for 30 years with nothing happening. That's kind of what that's geared towards. It's geared towards taking some of these old unoccupied buildings and, you know, forcing the owners to do something with them, to either bring them up to code and get them habitable where people could live in them, or to get them taken away and put something new in its place. And come November, if that thing is still in a residential area, which it will be, and it's still being used as a storage facility, it will be subject to that code, because it's a house that should be habited by people, and it's not if you wanted a storage building, then a storage building would be in a more of a commercial district or in a rent to own storage.
It's got a storage building on that property too.
Well, a storage building aside from the dwelling is fine. I mean, there's plenty of houses that have accessory buildings or have storage buildings that are on them, but you have an initial dwelling that is also occupied. And so that we're trying to look down the road so that when something like this happens, I mean, it's not going to be a surprise to you, and we would rather take care of it now and maybe go ahead and take this in front of council. I mean, I don't have a problem if council says, let's give you another 30 days, then we'll give you another 30 days. But I really think we should take this in front of council just to let them make that determination.
When's council meet again?
So our next council meeting will be July 8th, and that would just depend whether we're able to submit this to the city clerk today. But if you would like and you want 30 days to try to do something to fix that up, what we can do is we can push it to council in August, which is August 12th. That gives you more than 30 days to do something, and you can take it up to council and show them what you did to the property and why you feel like it shouldn't be demolished.
And I think that would be a great, because that would give you more than 30 days.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't want to put no more stress on her than what she is right now.
Absolutely.
It don't make me no difference one nickel tinker one way or the other. Even on my oxygen, I can still get around pretty good. I'm doing a pretty good job of it right now. I've had the yards looking pretty good.
No, I was surprised to see Mike here. I was really tickled to see when they said he was here at the
truck's
office.
up to the lawnmower right now. We're getting around. We'll be at Bulwarks this weekend. We'll be caught up again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything will be mowed.
But I mean, just take that into account with a lot of these other properties, because I know that there's that other house that's over in between 17th and 16th. That blue house that you also use for storage, that's on that alleyway right there.
Yeah.
But that would also be subject to the new ordinance. And like I say, a lot of those buildings like that are just sitting empty is what the state is really trying to combat, is just buildings that are being unused or unoccupied, to either bring them up to code and get them habitable.
well, if we go to the August meeting, that gives us actually closer to 40 days.
Yeah.
Correct.
And we can evaluate that house a little more and get back with you guys beforehand.
Definitely. And if it's something that you can fix to make it up to code, I would like to see it. I really would.
I don't understand what you want me
just,
to code. I need to look on my phone and see what you're wanting to code up to, or
I
you talking about
mean-
residential?
Yes.
yeah, we're talking
Well, I'm
about
not gonna put a
residential
gas line
code.
in, and I'm not gonna put a water line in.
No, just
It's not-
structurally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, we put that roof on there, and the roof's on there, the roof's a decent roof.
And like I say, that was a great start, but like I say, I mean, it's still not stopping the decline of the building, of the structure.
Well, we can get that stoppage, we can get that, you can get that blocked, you can block that back up. Matter of fact, if I was well,
Part
I'd
of
have
it,
done that.
part of it is that building is not built square. It was built before they had good codes on the building side.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like I just feel like we can't salvage that. I feel like it's just really
Well,
old.
it
It's
looks
falling
worse than
apart.
It is what I'm saying. 'Cause I
Yeah.
know when you go in a house that's really trying to fall over, it's kind of spooky even walking through it. That one's not too bad.
Yeah, and also posting on the front door is not even secure that much. If I was a teenager
door?
and I was getting into trouble, the front door of 909 North Ellison.
You can't
We
get in
were
that door.
posting on that door and we could see the crack inside. It's not really secure. I'm sure a teenager could kick the door in, really.
And that may be the case. You may have to go back by and just make sure somebody isn't.
I ain't been by there.
We'll go and evaluate it from our end as well.
And again, I mean, we can leave this up to council's decision if we feel differently about the situation, because at the end of the day, they make those decisions. They don't work for the city of
Exactly.
Guyman. So, and also they were elected to do what they do. So,
Right.
but the one thing that we can do is to give you until that August meeting, which is August 12th at 6 p.m.
We'll just plan on, and we'll be back in touch with you before then, I'm sure. 'cause
Absolutely.
like I
Well,
said,
we'll be.
We'll try to reevaluate that property in particular and I suppose we need
And
to
also,
start
if you're-
evaluating the blue house up there too.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're gonna be doing work, we also would like for you to pull permits as well.
Isn't
That way we can get
Yeah,
it
we did
inspected and
work
everything.
permits.
Especially when it comes to the structure, you know, because that's going to be real touchy. Because, like, say, if it's something that you guys have just, you know, kind of pushed together, you know, we wouldn't have any documentation of that. If we had a good contractor going in there, then he could kind of give us, you know, the particulars of, like, you know, I replaced two 2x12 beams, you know, across the base, and you know, I was able to.
Well, that
you know-
structure there is not falling in. It needs a roof and
Okay, yeah, we understand that you
the
feel like
back
it's.
side of the back part of it where the stucco's come loose a little bit there. But that's not dilapidated.
Oh, we're not even dealing with that one. We need.
Well, that's
Yeah.
It's on
what
our schedule to keep track.
what I'm saying is on that deal there, all that needs is two pieces of siding put on it. Or matter of fact is I got the siding to put on that back half of that house.
Right.
And that makes that perfectly all
Well,
right.
like I say, yeah,
Okay.
we'll take this up with council, and like I say,
Is
we'll
you
set
talking about
it.
on both of them or one of them?
No, we're just talking about 909 right now. 909 is the
But I can
main.
fix
But
that one
in
on
No- in
the blue.
November, we've got to have something worked out on that other one where it can be rented or plan on doing something with it. Because
Yeah.
the new laws will kick in.
Right.
Yeah, and that gives you until November if you're able to fix it up.
So in other words, you're telling me if I make it structurally, because I mean, I
Sound.
know the front door and it's locked and it stays locked. I
Okay.
got problems with kids breaking the glasses out. I probably spent $200 on glass in the last 10 years, vandalism. But that back part of it, y'all, we've already discussed that. All I gotta do is put that siding up there, and I got, like I said, if it's okay to stay with me, I'll be all right. I got 3 guys.
No, and that sounds great. Like, say, yeah, if we can get that structurally sound and we can have documentation of that, I think we'd be better off, and council would probably be a lot more apt to probably, you know, let this continue. But if not, you know, then, like, say, they would be the ones that would have to make that
I don't
ultimate
like the
decision.
boss make that decision.
There you
And
go.
getting,
God willing, she went to the doctor just a while ago. I hope she gets better.
yeah, but getting closer to the council meeting, we'll make sure to take pictures of all the work that you guys were doing and stuff like
Oh, I got
that. So.
pictures of everything I do.
Good, yeah, we'll also document on our
Yeah,
own side as well, just to
Yeah, yeah,
compare, put it in a
let-
case.
Yeah, send anything like that, you know, to her, and if it's the contractor, you know, they'll be getting in contact with either me or Drew. We'll be coming out to check it.
Did you do that? Can I ask you a question? This is not bearing to that 903 Crumley? Would you like I talked to you about that?
903 South Crumley?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, was it for the unimproved?
Well, it's not, it's where your parking area is.
So it's
I'll get
parked
that-
on,
I'll get that took care of.
okay,
I gotta get the guy to translate for me to him,
yeah,
not to park there.
right, yeah,
And then-
just to
and
park
then-
on the street until you're able to put
He's
some.
got an end dump truck, I'm sitting haulers on the rock. Can't I'll make other rates. I'll get that done next week. So,
Perfect.
I'm trying to figure out. Had that picture.
Thank you. Thank you for
No,
coming.
I appreciate you guys coming in. No.
And make sure.
And then, like I say, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll set this up for an agenda item, and we'll let you know when council is, just to, and like I say, we'll try to stay in touch between now and then.
On them permits you was talking about that I gotta pull permits, is that for, do you have to pull permits for, can you explain that to me?
Have to come pay a permit fee and construction.
Right, yeah, the permitting would be for the contractor for whatever.
Oh, yeah, but you're talking about by alter anything or like a
Yes.
roof or,
Right.
yeah, I understand, yeah, I do a
No,
lot.
technically, you're supposed to have a permit for the fence too, right?
Well, we would just go out there and make sure that you're gonna put the fence in the correct location. We would go out there and we would set some flags. There's no cost associated with the fence permitting, but we always like to go out there and just try to make sure as best we can to make sure that you're on the correct property. You're not on an easement. You're not gonna be going over, you know, a manhole.
I
or
called down here and they told me y'all didn't do it.
What's that?
Come flag that deal where I knew where to put that fence where the property lines were.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
we
we
don't
can't
survey.
100%. I mean, if you're wanting something that will hold up in a court of law, then you're going to need a survey. I mean, all we can go by is by the landmarks that are out there. We can go by the setbacks that are.
Don't y'all have property boundaries buried in the ground?
We don't. Those are the property stakes that the survey people put in.
They
Like,
put it in the ground, but y'all can find them and pretty well get.
we
We
can't.
don't.
A survey company could.
So how you gonna flag it while you think I'm not on their property? How can y'all do that?
Well, like I say, all we would be able to do is measure the setbacks. Like we have a 25-foot setback from the front of the property. We have a 10-foot setback from the rear of the property. We have 5-foot setbacks, you know, on the,
Each side?
right. Yeah. And like I say, we kind of go out there and we would determine that. But I mean, like I say, if you're wanting to know 100%, then you would have to
I
have
don't
a
need
survey.
You just gotta be 6 inches over on your property.
Right.
If y'all could do that over at 909, right in between Mr. Martinez and me,
Right.
I'd sure like to get real close to where the property, where it's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah, a survey will help with that.
I don't know if that's on,
Because like I say, those end up being more of a civil matter, you know, when it comes to property lines and issues like that.
oh, I got
because-
into one of them.
Right. And like I say, that's all we're trying to do is we're just trying to keep the peace when we go out there. But if you're wanting something that will hold up, you know, in a lawsuit, I mean, you have to have that survey. I mean, that's 100%.
And make sure to sign in before you leave,
Mr.
so we know
Keeney.
you're here.
Now, you ain't call me Mr. Kenny, I'm just.
No, that way we know you showed up.
Well,
Like I say, I'm glad to see you guys are up and out and about. That's-
I guarantee you what, I used to be a good guy when I could work. She knew me when I didn't drag an oxygen tank.
No, I think
Set
she
it up.
she actually, when she went by this morning, I think she is going to address this situation about the
I
vehicle.
think he killed my tree too, but that's all right. I mean, I'm still trying to keep peace.
Right.
We didn't let him come across. He tapped into my sewer line illegally behind that house.
Oh gosh.
Then y'all wound up at, we wouldn't let him go back. We wouldn't give him an easement to go across it.
Right.
So he's been, I know, causing quite a bit of action.
Right. Because that there again, that would constitute a plumber. You know, a licensed plumber would have to come in there and do
Yeah,
it.
we go across and get in somebody else's lot.
Absolutely.
Because like I
Yeah.
said, there ain't water and ain't been gas to that property. I know.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. So I'm in it.
Well, appreciate you guys coming in.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you guys.
All right, see you guys.
Yes.
I'll do it.
All right. Thank you, Miss Coco. Yeah, there you go.
I do appreciate you letting her